Well, my film is called The Florestine Collection, and it is a film that actually is a film that was started by my wife, Helen Hill, and she was a filmmaker, and I'm not a filmmaker. So this is the first time I ever really worked on a film. But so for me, the most important thing about this project was completing it for my wife Helen. She died in 2007, and she had worked on it for 5 or 6 years, and it was very important for her to finish it. So when she died, it was one of the main things that I wanted to do for her, is to finish the film. My wife's name was Helen Hill, and she was an artist and a filmmaker from South Carolina in the United States. And she loved to make art out of anything that she found or that appealed to her. And so one morning we lived in New Orleans in 2001, and one morning we were walking to a parade for Mardi Gras, the big festival there, and Helen saw these dresses, or what looked like a trash pile, and she said, you know, we've got to stop and look at this. And it turned out to be all of these old handmade dresses that were being thrown out in the trash by the family of a woman who had passed away. So an elderly woman, and they were all wet and moldy, you know. And but she knew they were something special, and she took them and cleaned them and decided to make a film about the dresses and to find out if anything she could about the filmmaker. So it was unique, but she was a very special person. Her other films are very beautiful, and I want to make sure I leave you with a copy of the other films. I don't know if I ever gave that, but her films are very beautiful, and but so she wanted to make a film to explore that. Yeah, she was in America, and I think it's everywhere in the world. You know, using actual film, old film, 16mm film or Super 8mm film. That's not common anymore. Most people make it on digital format, and in America for sure. And so she was kind of old-fashioned, and she loved the way that the image looked with film rather than video. She was like a partisan, you know. She was very felt very strongly about that. So she only wanted to work in that format, and so because she loved the way it looked, and that was important to her, the way that the film appeared, as well as the story and the subject matter. She thought a lot about the way that it would appear on the big screen and such. So yeah, that was part of her art. Yeah, exactly.